Next question. What is your next book about?
Well, the cat is out of the bag essentially now. So because the book is available on Amazon right now. It's called The Way of the Warrior Kid, and yes, it is a kid's book, but I'm telling you, I've got this book is there's gonna be a lot more people than just kids that learn from this book, myself included. So, and you know, so part of it stemmed, I had it in the bank for a while. But one of the things that happened is we talked about the Jocko Academy on this podcast. Hey, well, if you ran, somebody asked me the question, great question. If you ran an academy for kids, what would you teach? And I kind of went through what that would be like. And what was cool was when that podcast came out, so many people reached out to me and said, you got to do this. This will be awesome. And we actually are working behind the scenes slowly to get something moving in that direction. But I realized, you know, forming a school the way I want to make it, forming an academy the way I want it to be, it's a big effort. It's a big financial effort. But how do we help kids in the meantime, right? How do we help kids in the meantime? Well, I realized what I could do is write a book or finish this book that I had the idea for. So that's what I did. Hammered it out. And this is the story. It's about a kid. Kid name is Mark. And when the story opens up, he's just kind of finishing his last couple days of school. And he's having a rough time. He's having a rough time because well, first of all, he can't do any pull-ups, which may not seem like a big deal, but guess what? In his school, they have little PE tests. Yeah. And one of the things they got to do is pull-ups. Pull-ups, yeah. And so the last day of school, like, you know, they have field day in Hawaii? Yeah. So they have field day. So he's just, one of the events they do is pull-ups. How many pull-ups can everyone do? Yep. He's hiding in the back, trying to hide. He doesn't want to do the pull-ups in front of everyone. Yeah. Guess what? He gets called out, so everybody knows. Yeah. Confirmed. They knew before. Now he's confirmed. He can't. Yeah. He doesn't. That kid can't do any pull-ups. Dang. Class field trip, guess where they go? They go to a pond. They go to a lake and they go swimming. Real fun. If you know how to swim. Mark doesn't know how to swim. So and now they know that too. Not only that, on top of that, doesn't know his times tables. Right? Yeah. What's 6 times 6? Don't know. Dang. So on top of all that, he's getting bullied. He's getting bullied by Big Kenny Williamson, big bully, who calls himself the king of the jungle, because the jungle gym in the schoolyard, it's his. Right, gotcha. So horrible last day of school, gets picked on, all that stuff, and when he comes home, he's reminded by his mom that his Uncle Jake, who is in the SEAL teams, of course, is getting out of the SEAL teams. He's going to be going to college after the summer. So this summer, he's staying with Mark. And that's what happens. So Uncle Jake, you know, he kind of hears all these issues that he's having, all these problems. And you can imagine what Uncle Jake said. Uncle Jake said, good. You got problems? Sure. Those are the kind of problems we can solve right there. Yep. We can take care. You can't do pull-ups? No problem. What do? We work out. Oh, you don't know your times tables? What do? Study. Let me teach you how to study. Let me show you about flashcards. Let me show you how to get in the game academically. Oh, you don't know how to swim? Guess what? You're going to learn how to swim. Oh, and you're getting picked on? How do we stop that? Real easy. Little something called jiu-jitsu. Of course. So that's what happens. The Uncle Jake shows Mark how to be, instead of a wimpy kid, how to be a warrior kid. And teaches him how to be stronger and smarter and better. And it also, you know, he learns about humility. He learns about respect. He learns about courage and determination. And, you know, I wish that I had this book when I was a kid, because I think it's gonna be helpful. And that's what That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping it can have an impact on some people's lives, and I hope that it allows, you know, parents and kids to get closer together. And, you know, as I was, you know, I normally take a question for kind of like closing, and, you know, I usually try and pick a question that's going to be, you know, it's going to be impactful, right? Mm-hmm. And honestly, man, when I was preparing for this podcast and I was doing the first couple letters that I read, I was just at a point where I didn't think I'd be able to step it up any further. And so I just wanted to think about that. You know, you think about John Burns and his daughter, and it makes me hope that this can bring people together, bring parents closer to their kids, and help their kids move down the right path in life. Because no matter what you think about life and the afterlife and immortality, and whether you believe in that or not, one thing I do know is the one thing that you do leave behind is your kids. So let's give them the best we can and get them prepared for life, and get them prepared for the sunny days and the sparkling skies filled with stars. And let's also get them ready for the challenges and the bullies and the darkness, so that they can survive and thrive and pass that strength of character on down the line.